Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. It is July 16th and it is Ascendant Challenge time once again. We're in Curse Week 3 and this time we are headed all the way back to the Harbinger Seclude, so it's way back here in the back. If you guys know where the portal's at, you guys can use the timestamps on screen to jump ahead, whether you're looking for eggs or lore bones or just what's going on with this thing. Otherwise, let's drive over and I'll show you guys what's going on this week. If you are looking for the eggs this week, this is probably one of the tougher ones for sure because it does use the sword and you have to do a little sword flying, so those are a little bit crazy. If you're doing the time trial as well, keep the sword with you as long as possible. It's kind of a crucial thing. You need the sword to kind of get the chest to pop and then you can drop it when you get out of there, but I mean, keep the sword as long as possible. For one, it may help you cover some ground while you're floating through the air, but also you kind of do have to have it or the sword or the chest won't spawn. It's the keep of honed edges, and literally the sword honed edge is kind of important for this one. So we'll drive all the way back here, try and skip as much of this as possible. See how long my Sparrow will actually stay in one piece here, which is always the hard part in driving. I'm gonna die. Yep, there he goes. Well, if I can get a little push from that ogre, I'll take it. And in the back we go. The vehicle's almost up. Back on it. All Sparrows need instant summoning. Like, they just do. There's no reason not to. Then you could actually have some fun with other perks, whether it's, you know, get a random reload while you drive your Sparrow, or maybe do a little bit of tricks, but they all should just instant summon. It's the best one. So Harbinger Seclude, when you get back here, you can drive through most of this if you're still on your Sparrow. If you don't keep it, that's okay. Just run. It's not a big deal. Probably over-leveled for most of this anyway. When you get all the way to the back, you may have a couple things trying to snipe you, but get back down here and you should probably be okay. Now, if you're worried about getting tagged by a couple things, you can turn around and shoot some of this stuff just to make sure you got some safety. Also, one other thing, if you're going for the time trial and you kind of keep popping out, it's one of those things to help keep you alive a little bit longer as well. But once you get back to about this point, this is when you want to pop your Tincture of Queen's Foil, because we're going to go take a shortcut up to the right. May as well throw a Rune Finder buff on as well. Now, the portal's up top. There's a bit of crazy jumping you can do to get up there, but the easy way is just follow the secret platforms over here. Try not to miss them, of course. And as you work your way around, just kind of getting an easier way to enter the portal from kind of an elevated position. So as I was saying, we are here at the portal. Now, if you're looking for the time trial, your basic idea is go into the middle, pop your super, use rockets, whatever you can to clear out the first set of ads. As soon as you get the sword, you do want to smash the knights, but if you have to pull them out or kind of get underneath a couple platforms for cover, that can help, but just try not to get overwhelmed by the knights because they will definitely kill you and you got to start it over. So, once you have the 3 knights down, you'll get 1 and then 2 together. You'll have to kind of work your way back to the outside to wherever the portal spawns. There's 3 different directions you can go. Biggest thing to know, when you're leaving the middle platform and have killed the knights, there are flying purple rocks that you have seen in other places. They will definitely take you out. Also, some of the platforms disappear, so jumping up in the air, using your sword, touching whatever you're landing on, and then kind of getting in the air again quickly can be helpful because you never know which ones are going to disappear. And every pathway is different. That's why it's kind of hard for me to be like, this is exactly how you do it. There's 3 different ways. So I'm going to show you guys kind of as quickly as possible, and then when I get to the end, I'll turn back and show you guys where the eggs and lore bones are. So here we go. So typically whenever you come in, your goal is just to get to the center. So making sure you actually have a super up is honestly going to benefit you for starting this thing out. You can go left, you can usually go right. Just make sure you know where you're jumping to. And remember, this platform right here with the hanging lantern will be coming back there as well. That's where one of the craziest jumps of all is. And remember, if you're going for the lore bones, not quite as bad, but always good to keep the sword. But if you're going for the eggs, you need to make sure and keep the sword. One of the eggs you cannot get without. Toland is right down there. And pretty much what I would do is jump in and kind of go to town as quickly as you can. Just start mowing these guys down quick. Again, Recluse is kind of a nice thing to use for that stuff. You're going to have some ads that pop up here on the platforms. A couple Thrall will be hiding, of course. They tend to want to do that. And again, if you don't have Recluse, well, that's a talk for a different time. Should be some stragglers. Of course there always are, and you can never find them. And sometimes these guys are the ones that are going to slow down your run. Alright, so once you do this one, you're going to look for the guy with this name, Garok. He's going to be the one that stands first. As soon as he stands, you can start slamming. And you'll actually probably knock him off the ledge, but you'll also kill the thrall that are around if you keep slamming. So once he is down, the other two are going to come at you. So you want to make sure and try and watch all the ads. And if you feel like you're getting overrun, pull back for a second. Now, if you're going for a time trial, you got to get kind of aggressive, and a Warlock Rift will likely help you. But if you don't go for a time trial, you can use back here as some cover. So what you'll do is you'll pull the knights up here to the top, and what you can do is actually slam through the kind of coffin area, and you'll use that as cover, get them on the other side of it. And then even if you don't forget about your super when that sword super spawns, things go pretty quick when that thing goes down. So when all three are down, that's actually not the slowest run, but could still be quicker with like a Warlock Rift. You got to hit this middle and see which direction it goes. If it takes you this direction, you'll see the portal on the far side. But you see now the flying rocks through, you got to be careful and be ready to move. And this is why I say the sword is actually nice. Now you're going to have some ads that spawn. Be careful about those. Some will definitely be trying to snipe you. Others will be phalanx that are trying to knock you off a platform. Now, as I said, some platforms will disappear. Others will, as I said, be phalanx trying to blast you. So using the sword to swipe like that can be good. Staying low to your rocks. And that's why I said some will definitely disappear. So making the ground, making up ground with the sword, good to go. Collect your loot. That should hit your portal. And then what you want to do is find the quickest way out of whatever side you're on. And then exit out. So that is how you want to relatively do it time trial style. Using your super can have some benefits there as well. But I'm going to go back to the middle with the sword at this point, so I can show you guys the lore bones and the eggs. But at this point, the flying eggs or flying rocks are around, so you got to be careful. Any platforms that did disappear will still disappear, so watch out for those. And again, at this point, now that you've got the sword, you can actually set it down kind of on a safe position. Clear out where you're flying back to. Just don't leave it sitting there for too long. But that way you can kind of have a safe run to where you're going. And just be careful. Like, if this thing's going to disappear on me, I got to be careful about it. And make sure you wait if you know some rocks are flying through. Give it a second. See if the coast is clear. Of which, believe me, I've messed it up plenty of times. And I think I'm okay. There's the one I was waiting for. So clean run. You never quite know where you're going to be when that stuff comes flying through. This is one of the large... So as the rocks disappear, if you touch a rock and it starts to disappear, get back in the air very quickly. Same as that one. As I said, Toland is down there. If you need him, he's there. Alright, so I'm going to use this as a point of reference. Right about here. Facing this direction. Alright, so let's cut ahead and I'll show you guys where the eggs and the lore bones are. Alright, Guardians, so your first egg is the most important one to start with, and actually can set up your other ones as well. So the first one, if you're facing in the middle circular platform where the two raised platforms are closest together, you're going to turn to your right about a third of the circle. So this corner gazebo, and we're going to head out this direction. You're going to want to take the exact path I do on these rocks. So off to the left one. Depending on what's going to disappear, just be careful, they can still fall away from you. This one right here, you want to go up and over to this long one. Try and make as much progress as you can on it, because it will potentially disappear on you. And when you get to this platform with the statue holding the urn, you are in the right place. Now what we're going to do is actually sword fly over here. You're going, there's nothing over there. Well, if you wait the light to flash, you'll actually see what you're going for. So it's that little rock formation over there. So try and get as high up as you can. Whatever you jump you've got that gets you high, that will work. And all you want to do is get a run going, get as high up as you can, and then just start swinging. Aim towards the kind of right edge a little bit, and you're just trying to land on this little lip here. Once you're up here, you should be good. Jump on this rock. We're going around the backside. And we're here. And your egg will literally be sitting right here. It's one of the most craziest ones. How somebody ever found it, I don't know. So shout out to whoever did. I'm not going to claim the original. But if you can get back here with the sword, then phase 2 that you can do is actually fly back on top of the gazebo up here. So if you want to get as high up here as you can, it's actually not too bad. You can actually see the flying rocks from fairly far away. But what you want to do is try and get a sprinting jump, try and get as high as you can, and we're going to sword swing back on top of this gazebo we went through. So get up high, look for the rocks as they fly down. Up here you should have a decent viewing of what's coming down and what's flying through. And then once you kind of come through, you just want to make sure you can land on this. Alright, don't die. And then still having the sword, jump up a little higher, and you should be able to hit this ledge and get on top. Now, egg number 2 is going to be out. I gotta find the platform, actually. Should be this one. So you can technically do it from up here. But really all you need to do is just get on this platform. Now, I've jumped from down there before to get up here. And it's going to be kind of hard to see. But typically I would just be on the farthest left edge. I'm going to leave my sword up here just so it doesn't fall. I don't need it anymore though, so it's not required. And where it would be is there's going to be a faint glow back in this direction. Now, it's hard to see because I do not have the egg there anymore. But if you sit here, it should be between 2 rocks. And like with my pulse rifle, for example, I could fire up there 50 times and maybe get 2 immunity texts to pop up. But you'll see a faint glow between 2 rocks. And out here on this ledge, about as far left as you can be, is about as good of an angle as you can go for. And again, like you'll kind of see the faint rock out there as the lightning kind of flickers. Right there. And then kind of towards the upper edge, you'll see this thing. And eventually, if you fire your bow back there, you know, 5 to 10 times, you will hit that egg. So that is egg number 2. So now let's get back to the middle, and I'll show you guys the lore bones. Alright, so I'm going to set the sword down just so it doesn't mess me up mid-jump. You do not need it anymore. You are good. I'm going to go ahead and put that guy down. So, same thing. If you're facing forward between where the 2 platforms are closest together, we're going to turn the way we did the first time for that first egg. And as long as your ascendancy's on, which it still should be, shouldn't have gone away, come right here and we're going to jump to this little lip right here. If you just kind of smash into the wall, you should be okay, and you'll notice this invisible platform appearing below you. And this is the start of your path towards the lore bones. This is also usually kind of your best way to find Toland. He's usually on one of these under areas. And these are typically almost going to be a bit of a leap of faith. So if I jump over here, I want to jump straight at it. That way you can get Toland. And then I can't see where I'm going, but if I go straight back towards that center platform,
Quria is the key.
the mind stimulates
works and thereby masters the power to take. But of course, Quria is no power unto itself.
And then when you jump back, look for that platform, a little bit of a leap of faith, and then we should be good to go. And then each one of these, they will just kind of circle around this main platform. They'll barely appear as you're coming towards it. When you get down to the last one, you'll know when you get there, it kind of comes down to a little point. You get fairly low right down here. And this little edge right here, this is where your lore bones would be sitting right down here. You can pick them up. And then you can turn around and work your way out. So from here, you can work your way out, but if you've done everything, you know, nothing else is really required. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this guide for Ascendant Challenge for the week of June 16th. Again, this is called the Keep of Honed Edges, and that should cover everything that you need in here. Toland is usually on one of these lower ledges, couple of them, but he's usually one of those. The first time you come in here, he is usually right there where he was. If you spend a couple more deaths or, you know, re-entry attempts, he might move a little bit. But if you just look on the lower tiers, that's typically where you'll find him. Once you get to about here, you should be able to jump back up to the center. So that is the Keep of Honed Edges. Hopefully you enjoyed the video this week. As I said, I've got a couple other ones up, so check those out. Thank you guys for all the support. We passed 35,000 and still going. So you guys can find me on Twitch. Hopefully later tonight I'll be doing some streaming, and I will see you guys there. If not, I'll see you in the next video or next stream. So have an awesome day. I'll see you soon, and enjoy your week.